Ready
from
now.
So now.
Hi, everybody. It's SingleDad.com. I'm Sam Graves. I'm John Graves' father, and inasmuch as some of the things I do in my life is have a television show and interview folks, we thought I might interview John about SingleDad.com and about himself, his experiences as a single dad. So I think probably if I were really conducting an interview, I probably would ask you to tell me just a little bit about single dad and how it helps or how it is beginning to help people like you who have, for whatever circumstance, divorce, just having a child out of wedlock, whatever, or in your case, having a spouse that died. How has SingleDad.com come to be, and how is it helping and beginning to help folks like you?
How it came to be first, RJ, everybody knows RJ, he had this great idea, I guess, when he was divorced. He's been divorced about 8 years, and he's got 3 kids. They're all great kids. But as he was learning through the process, and I think he was talking to his mom, and he was doing all kinds of things, I think maybe there's a news story about this, he began getting calls from other people, other dads, saying, can you help me? You know, what do you do about this? What do you do about that? And as he started researching, are there resources for single dads, because he needed help, he couldn't find anything out there. There were dating sites and there were attorney sites. You know, here's how you get by with divorce papers or things like that. So he came up with this idea, and it's a great idea, to have a kind of a social media site for single dads. Now, single moms and other single parents do come to the site, but it just kind of became a resource. He talked to me, he talked to Jesse, the other 2 dads, about how we kind of can just use our stories to encourage other dads through the internet, and that's how it came to be.
Okay, if you were to look at, like, for example, I'm out here every now and then, every other month now, and I get to take the boys out, and I'm worn ragged at the end of the day.
Yes.
But then I get to go home, or whatever. You don't. And I suspect that one of the difficult things, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you can tell me, men don't have the innate mothering skills to do what it is dads have to do. So what's been the most, what dads have to do as a single parent, including being a mom? What's the hardest thing for you?
Oh, the hardest.
I know there are lots of them, but you have guys that are full of energy that like to rip and run. You have to get up so early. You have to cook their meals. You have to do all kinds of things that Jessica used to do, or that RJ's ex-wife used to do. It just it's tough because you have virtually no time for yourself.
I think that's part of it. I think that having the schedule that I have is hard, but I think as a man, you look at a schedule and you say, okay, I can do this, this, and this, and you just kind of go through the day and you accomplish things. So that's, while the time is hard and the schedule that I keep is hard, it's not necessarily the hardest thing. The hardest thing I think would be that I look at these 2 guys and I think, wow, are they missing out on things that their mom did, and she did things just so much better than I did in certain ways, loving them or nurturing them. I'm not real good at that. So I think
broken-hearted, just so you know.
And what am I supposed to do with that? I mean, it's just issues like that. The emotional side, I think, is. I'm a thinker too, and so I begin to analyze things. I can do the things, I can get them up, I can cook for them, I can do all the things that you have to do in the day. But at the end of the day, am I doing it right, and am I giving them everything they need? I think that's the hardest thing.
Anyway, so it just must be. And how are the other guys doing? I mean, and how are people responding to single dad? I mean, I look at the website, but I can't tell how many people that you have that actually make hits on it. By hits, I mean, go and view
traffic. Well, I think we have nearly 1,000 members.
Wow.
And that's people from across the country. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary on Father's Day, in fact. I think the neatest part of the site, aside from obviously watching Jesse, who is just incredibly funny, is the forums. We have a forum section on the site where people across the country can just post questions or talk about issues they're dealing with. Maybe they're newly single dads, or things that have just come up, as they've been through this journey. So it's a good resource. It's actually pretty nice.
It's apparently going to be very successful, and I do hope that someone nationally picks up on it so that more and more people, because there are zillions of you guys out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Whether they're single women who are single moms, or whether they're single guys, which is kind of a different phenomenon to see attention being focused on men, because mothering and parenting questions are not normally associated with single guys who happen to be the full-time parents. So I'm really glad to see it happen, and I hope that somebody really picks up on it nationally to give more attention, to give more of this resource available to folks who really need it.
Agreed. There it is.
That'll be $1.